And I am live talking about movies once again. We are near the end of this year, near the end of this season of mainstream movies reviews. I have seen 149 movies that came out in 2025. Among these 149, I have seen 36 horror flick. Tonight is a special episode, the penultimate episode of this season. I will be ranking all 36 movies and I will kind of talk briefly about each. So let's get into it. In last place, we got a horrendous movie. I think that movie is by design very bad. It is The Death of Snow White. It is really bad. For those who have seen Mousetrap last year, it's the same kind of idea, but with Snow White. And it's kind of funny because there's also a more official Snow White movie that's also really bad, but the Death of Snow White is a terrible movie. Every single thing about that movie is bad. Even if it's by design, I think it's worth mentioning. I think you can still criticize a movie to be bad, even if it's the intent. It's a bad movie. Saying the third was the third doesn't make it better, Like, it's a fact. It's a bad movie. So that's in 36th place, The Death of Snow White. Now, the next movie in my ranking is another very bad movie. So, The Death of Snow White, just before we really jump into place number 35, The Death of Snow White, I had given a 1 out of 10. So, the next stop is Streamboat, another terrible horror flick. I feel like it's the same crowd making both movies because both movies are terrible. They are what we can consider rock bottom. And Streamboat is another slasher type movie that's very bad with trash character, weird dialogue, terrible acting, terrible directing, terrible production. I think one of the few aspects that's like redeeming the movie. I don't know if it's fair to say, but one of the aspects that's like kind of okay is the movie took place on a boat, but then many other slashers also took place on boat, and they were better than that. I guess slasher in general are not that great. So Streamboat for me is a 2.5. It's not as bad as The Death of Snow White, but it's still kind of bad. The next movie, in place number 34, we have another terrible movie. We have several terrible movies when I think about it. So, in 34th, we got Bozo in the Woods. That's another really, really bad movie. It's a mixture of like cops and middle age stuff. That movie I really wanted to forget the moment I had finished it. I I think it's just another really bad flick with everything. The production, the characters, the dialogue, the acting. Oh, the acting. These movies, when they race for the bottom, they're really bad. And the worst in that with Bozo in the Wood, I don't even know if that movie was really intended to be that bad. It's the unfortunate part. When you don't even know if that was the intent, maybe that makes the movie worse. I don't know, but I found it a bit more enjoyable than Streamboat and the other one. Coming next, we got another really bad movie. So just before we jump into place 33rd, Bozo in the Wood is a 3 out of 10. Now the next one is another really bad one. It's recurring. Like most of these rock bottom movie are rock bottom for very valid reason in my books. It's all unwatchable, and I would never recommend any of these movies to anyone, not even my worst enemy. So in place number 33, Popeye's Revenge. Another terrible movie in the same vein of Snow White. I think it's by design, it's really bad. I like Pain and Suffering. That's why I ended up watching it. Do you like Pain and Suffering? Watch every movie I mentioned as of right now. They're all bad. Popeye's Revenge is no exception. It's another terrible 3 out of 10. More unwatchable thing. Cannot wait to get closer to actual movie that are supposed to be better, hopefully. So, place number 32. So, after having several 3 out of 10, we got another 3 out of 10 with Captain Hook, The Cursed Tide. And just like Bozo in the Wood, I don't even know if that movie was intended to be that bad. I just don't. And it was bad. I mean, I've given a 3 out of 10 to that movie. It's like a bad version of Cutthroat, an older movie. But again, these movies are the race for who made it worst. Another 3 out of 10 here. Now, the next place in this ranking, place number 31. Are we getting a lesser evil? No. Unfortunately, we got another really bad movie, and that's Spirit Spring. That one is not as bad as the other. It's still not great. I mean, it's the race for the bottom. That one I had given a 4 out of 10. There were aspects to it that were enjoyable, but the movie was mostly really bad and painful to get through. But if you ask me which one of these I want to see more, I think that one I would want it more than anything else, because the other 4 just previously were so bad. It's not even a fair comparison or a fair competition. So again, I've given Spirit Spring a 4 out of 10. Still not so great, but better than what we had previously. Coming in place number 30, The Strangers Chapter 2. So I think the Stranger IP is not so great from the get-go, and this coming from someone that's not that much into slashers, and this is another slasher. There's a recurring thing here going on. Most of the worst 6 movies in that list are all pretty much slasher, except for maybe The Death of Snow White. But The Strangers Chapter 2 is bad. And it's funny because it's a remake of other movies that just came out like not even 20 years ago, and the original piece of art were not that painful, but they were not that great either, so I don't know why they wanted to adapt that. Maybe I'm just the wrong audience for that kind of horror movies, because I do think as we go on later on in that ranking, we got some gem. We got some of my favorite movies out there. But as of right now, it's who did it worst. So that Stranger movie is a 4 out of 10. And it's the worst Stranger one. Even in the original one, the Stranger movies were slightly above that. That's not saying much, because I don't think that IP is great. Slashers in general, it depends which one. Outside of Child's Play, Chucky, for those who don't really recognize the title. Yeah, outside of that, not a fan of slashers. Now, the next one, place 29. Coyotes. That one, I suspect, was made bad by design. The idea is interesting. We got animals chasing humans. That's why I placed it higher, and I had less issues with it. It's not a great movie. It's another really bad one, but I'd rather watch that than any of the other ones. So coyotes, we got savage animal that tear apart people. Cool. Cool. Really cool. Um, so that one I had given a 4.5 out of 10. It's so a quite low grade considering I give a lot of 10s. Even in this current list, there are a lot of 10s. So let's get into the next movie. I Know What You Did Last Summer, 4.5 out of 10. Uh, they did another remake, folks, and I didn't know it, but we actually had 3 movies of that previously. I knew that was a remake of a first one, but then after digging through, I realized there are 3 of them. What? All 3 of them are bad? That remake is worst? I don't know what's going on with these people. Like, it's easy to make a slasher. Why do you make a remake of not so great piece of art anyway? I don't get it. I don't understand. What's next? They will do a reboot of Final Destination after just making the more recent one? Sure, sure. So, again, not so great. Better than the others we mentioned previously, but not so great. I Know What You Did Last Summer. You can skip that one. It's not worth your time. So, the next up is another movie I'm not a big fan of because it's The Race for the Bottom. We mentioned it several times. I think it's my new catchphrase. The Race for the Bottom. So, coming in place number 27, Holy Ghost. That one had an interesting idea. It is not a slasher. So if you don't like slasher, maybe you can give it a shot. Maybe I was too harsh on it. But I thought the acting, the story were not that great. There were interesting elements. It's like a ghost story. The title says it. And it has an interesting aspect. It's not a great movie. It's not for nothing. It's really low in the list, but still, it's a movie that happened. It existed. You can watch it if you don't like slasher. It is not a slasher. It's more like a mystery with horror aspect. So this is The Holy Ghost with a 4.5 out of 10. And now the next one breaks my heart. The next one breaks my heart because I don't think it's a good movie, but that's the first bad movie I like that we will mention right now. And that might be a hot take because I had a disagreement with Matt on that one. But here we are with Final Destination Bloodline. So it's coming in place number 26. And I did a full stream about it. I found the movie very entertaining. I liked it, but I also think it's one of the worst movies in the franchise. I had so many issues with it. You can go back to the stream where Matt and I talked about the IP and that specific movie. Again, I enjoyed Bloodline. I just don't think it's a great movie, and that's why it is this low. Place 26 is really low considering there are 36 movies. So, again, I liked it. Not so great. And maybe I'm crazy because I know the IP is beloved. And there's the thing. You can like bad movies. I think it's bad. Anyhow, the next up is another case where I fairly enjoyed the experience. Movie number 25 in this ranking, Fear Street Prom Queen, with a 5 out of 10. So it's slightly above Bloodline, that was a 4.5. But Prom Queen, you know what? I was entertained. I like the experience. I don't think it's a good movie, but it was fun. I think it's slightly above Bloodline because I had a lot less issues with it. So coming next, we got Another interesting pick, another interesting movie. I think most of these movies are interesting after Bloodline. They're not all great, but they get better, and I recommend maybe Bloodline, but still. Let's get into place number 24. Hell of a Summer. I think it's slightly above Fear Street Prom Queen. And Hell of a Summer was a movie that's labeled as a 2023 movie. But here's the thing, it came out in 2025 following my list I got from Wikipedia. Hell of a Summer was interesting. It is no masterpiece. It's not the best movie out there, but it's enjoyable, watchable. And this is 6 out of 10, so it's almost average in my books. Coming in next place, we got another movie because we got so many movies. So the next movie in this list for place number 23, The Parenting. That movie had interesting aspect. It is not so great, but it's average. It's better than the other movies, and it's okay. It's a movie. The Parenting is people in a house and weird stuff are happening to them. So it's not a slasher, unlike Hell of a Summer and the other one we mentioned prior, Prom Queen. But still, it's a quite fun experience. Now let's get into the next position in this ranking. So the next one is in place number 22nd, Queen of Bones, with another 7 out of 10. Just like The Parenting was a 7 out of 10, so we got 2 7 out of 10 in a row. And Queen of Bones, just like Hell of a Summer, was a movie that was made in 2023, but it came out this year. And I will be honest, I've seen it, but in the middle of so many horror flick that my memory is a bit fuzzy on that one. But I enjoyed it more than The Parenting. I remember The Parenting cringing in some of the dialogue that was eye-rolling, but Queen of the Bones up is slightly above. Now, place number 21st is the next one, a Elm Street-like movie, An Eye for an Eye. I think Elm Street were very, very good, but that's it. There were no masterpiece in my books, and An Eye for an Eye is just a worse version of these Elm Street movies. It's enjoyable. It's better than the worst Elm Street because I will admit there were many bad Elm Street out there. But that one is basically heavily inspired by Elm Street. They change a bit the lore and the bad guys are the characters in the movie, and there's no like Freddy Krueger or anything, but you can clearly tell that was an homage, and they tried to take their own spin on it. So yeah, that one was another 7 out of 10. I think there are several 7 out of 10 out there. That's how I feel about these movies. Now, the next movie in this ranking, The Woman in the Yard, with a 7 out of 10. You know what? That movie surprised me. I was kind of act about it because I was like, oh, that's one of the first few horror flick I ended up watching in theater this year. And I wasn't disappointed. That was a very fun experience. But it's just a 7, so there are many better movies out there. The Woman in the Yard with a 7. I highly recommend. It has some like kind of time travel aspect and ghostly thing happening. It's a quite special horror flick in my books. It has issues, but it's fun. It was a fun time. Coming next, we got Ash. Another 7 out of 10 for my 19th place. It gave some alien vibe, but that's not alien. It's actually very different. It's a virus, and it's in space, and that was a very fun movie. So you see, we entered the realm where we got two movies in a row I really enjoyed that were very fun. So this is the realm we are in now. So that's under 7. Ash. Ash is interesting. If you like sci-fi, maybe you will like that one. So coming next, we got another movie that was talked about quite a lot, I must say, especially on the internet. Place number 18, M. This is a football team with very interesting idea. I know some of my friends that don't go out in theater a lot that actually went to see that movie. It is not perfect. I think most of the movie hold itself together. Most of the movie is very fun. They really miss the mark by the end where lots of weird things are happening. But M overall is a fun experience with a 7.5. I liked it. That's a fun experience. And maybe I'm crazy on that one because I know the score was much lower. But I think M is worth your time. M is a psychological movie. It feels like Get Out. It's not really Get Out. It's actually very different, but that's the closest comparison I have from a horror flick. So, if you like football, maybe you'll like it. All crazy people are, and this is the thing with that movie. Now, in the next one, I believe we enter the conspiracy thingy there. Project MKX in 17th place. I gave this movie 8.5. I like brainwash things, and that will lead to Weapon eventually higher in that list. But that movie was a found footage movie that felt like Paranormal Activity, but with like a cult aspect, with like brainwashing and like programming people. I thought that movie was interesting. I don't remember watching movies that were similar to that one. It was weird. It was a very weird movie, and I liked it. Giving that movie a 8.5 out of 10. So coming next, we got another movie, because there are lots of movies that came out that I have seen. So coming next, we got Keeper with a 8.5 out of 10. And I know on that one I am crazy. This is the 16th place. And I've seen comments on the internet. Everyone hates it. Everyone is disappointed. I was a big Longlegs fan. The person that made Keeper made Longlegs. They also made Monkey. And the Monkey is much higher in the list. But Keeper, I enjoyed it. That was a confusing movie with very cool aspect. And it's about relationship. How weird it can be. And how someone can get swallowed in that. That was a very fun experience. There's a review on my channel if you want to hear more about that. 16th place. And I've given a 8.5 to that movie. So coming next, we got more movies. 15th place, we have The Conjuring Last Rites with a 9 out of 10. And as usual, I think I am like the minority because a lot of people are like, oh, it's just another disappointing entry. Actually, I found it very fun. It's one of my favorites. My favorite remains the first one, and lucky enough, the third one. I like the third one more than this one. I said it. My wild takes are back. So in 15th place, we got Conjuring Last Rites with a well-deserved 9 out of 10. So, coming next, in 14th place, we got another fun movie because we are really in the territory where now I like pretty much anything. We've been in that territory for quite some time, but I need to reiterate that. In 14th place, we got 28 Years Later with another 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I've seen 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, actually 2 years ago, and right off the bat, based on memory, I do think 28 Years Later is my favorite. Am I excited about the sequel that will come out in January? I will be honest with you, I'm not. I feel like 28 Years Later could have been the great closure we have, but they really want to milk out that franchise. They really want to make money. So we have the temple of something, and I will be covering it. That will be actually the first mainstream movie we will be covering next year, because it's soon. It's in a few weeks as if we are recording this. So coming in 13th place, The Cursed Number. 13th place, we get to see The Long Walk. I really liked it. And when we had The Running Man, I was disappointed because I was like, oh, it's Stephen King and it's the same premise, and yeah. The Running Man is truly a thriller, while The Long Walk is a horror flick because there are really disgusting things going on. And The Long Walk is so good. I want to read the piece of art it's based on. Stephen King is so fun. I enjoy most of his work. His message are kind of interesting to hear about. So The Long Walk, we covered that as well on the channel. So if you want to hear my full review, go to the video The Long Walk on the channel. I think it's a few episodes ago. Coming in 12th place, we have Weapons with a 9.5 out of 10. I really like that one. I almost reviewed it. I don't know if I reviewed it. I don't think I reviewed it, but this is a very good movie about brainwash and an investigation of missing kids. I liked it. That was fun. More movies like that, please. It's entertaining. We need more of it. Now, coming in next place, we have more movies, because this is what we do here. So, coming in this time around, 11th place, The Monkey with a 9.5 out of 10. It's made by the same person that made Longlegs and more recently Keeper. The Monkey is, again, based on Stephen King. It's very fun. It's a cursed monkey that trade bad lucks. And I really, really like the humor. The dark humor in it, it's golden. Golden. I also reviewed that movie. It's a movie that came out way back then in February, I believe, or March. So that might be Mainstream Movie Review Season 2. I don't think it's Season 3. But still, it was a fun experience that I highly recommend. And now we enter the top 10. The top 10 is really interesting. It's my favorite in the bunch because they're in the top 10. So yeah, The Monkey is a 9.5. Now we enter with Wolfman, another movie that's not really liked by anyone except me. I've given a 9.7 to Wolfman. Wolfman is kind of underrated. I said it. So I've given it a 9.7, and I think that's a fun movie about a dad that tries to do his best and he transforms into that monster, and it's tragic, it's sad. I like it. It's my cup of tea. It's my kind of movie. And it kind of gave me like Watcher vibe from last year, which is another movie I liked and everyone hated. So coming in ninth place, we have The Presence, a 9.7, and it's like a ghost that's lurking around, and they hint that maybe ghosts are in the future, but they live in the present, and it's very special, it's very unique, it's very weird. I liked it. It gave me like paranormal vibes, but I actually liked that movie. And the the sibling relationship was quite interesting. The parents, they were enjoyable. So that movie overall, I think is fun. But as usual, I have one take. I have weird opinions because I'm in the minority, and it's nothing new. So coming in eighth place, The Damned from 2024. Um, and just like the presidency labeled as a 2024 movie, so the last two movies we just covered are 2024 movie, but they came out this year. So that is a really weird thing about a cursed boat and people being attacked by some kind of plague. That was a movie that came out in January. It's so far away. It's almost a year. Wow, that's crazy. So long ago. So many things happened since then. But The Damned is a fun experience that I highly recommend. I've given that movie a 9.7 out of 10. We are in the gem. We are in the best 2025 had to offer in terms of horror. Now, the next one. In seventh place, we got Sinners with a 9.7 out of 10. Sinners is made by Ryan Coogler. It's a very fun movie, and I know a lot of people liked it. That I could see that movie being some people' favorite horror flick this year because it's a standout movie. It's a very good movie, and I've covered that movie on the channel as well. Given a 9.7 out of 10. So go watch the review if you really want more detail on that. Let's get into the next one in this a big ranking. The next one is Until Dawn with a 9.7 out of 10. Until Dawn is a great loop movie. It's like Groundhog Day, but it's not because by design, that loop is different. That loop is the things leading to your death, and they change, and they change, and there's a mystery who's behind that, and I like it. That felt like a slasher, but it's not. That felt like a time loop, but it's not. Felt like many things, but it's not. And it's a fun experience. I highly recommend. If you have not seen, go watch it. It's one of the best flick we had this year in terms of horror. The music, the atmosphere, and I will be honest, the characters were actually surprisingly good. It's really rare we have that in horror movies. Sometimes they are lazy. Let's just have terrible character. Who cares? People are just there to witness people's deaths. So Until Dawn is a standout movie that I highly recommend. So now we enter a new territory. We are in top 5. I think it's top 5. I think there's a lot to say in that top 5. Because now it's the top of the shelf. It's like the rich wine. The build out from 2023 is a psychological movie. There's 2 of them that are psychological actually. But the build out is someone that struggled in the desert. Very Very interesting movie. And I will be honest, I've seen it like in March, so it's far away in my memory. It's still a very enjoyable movie I'd recommend. So the build out I've given a 10 out of 10. It's top 5 material. I really liked it. Go watch that. I'm telling you, you will miss something if you don't watch it. Now coming in 4th place, we have Control Freak, another psychological drama. I know I've seen it on Disney Plus a few months ago. I don't know if it's still up there. But it's a fun movie about someone that has anxiety and that struggle with mental illness. And again, that's a movie I've seen a long time ago, so my memory is not the best. I don't know what's going on with me. I didn't sleep enough today, but that movie is fun. Go watch it, Control Freak. I've given a 10 out of 10 to that one as well. So now we are on a strike of 10 out of 10 in a row. And we are moving on to the top three. The top three. Some of the best the horror type movie has to offer this year. So in third place, we got Bring Her Back. I really like Bring Her Back. It's like a weird person that wants to bring someone back. I won't spoil much because you need to see it for yourself. I'm not quite sure if I did a review on the channel. Maybe I should, but it's a very fun movie. It's weird. It's like two kids that are in foster care and they were lucky enough to be placed under the same roof, and the person that takes care of them is weird. And what's going on in that house is weird. And that's as far as it can go without spoiling the experience for you. Go watch that. It's fun. I enjoyed it a lot. That's not for nothing. It's in third place. Coming in second place, we got the amazing sequel of a movie that came out 4 years ago. Shocker. In second place, we got a Black Phone. I've reviewed it, I know that. Both Black Phone movies were great, but this sequel, I think, is far superior than the original. For so many reasons, I felt so many things. Characters are so endearing. I liked what was going on. It's a fun experience. Really, these two Black Phone movies, go watch them. It's some of the best thing we have in the horror type movies. I enjoyed the Smile franchise, but I also enjoyed the Black Phone franchise. And to top that, I do think the Black Phone franchise is slightly superior because they know when to stop. In Smile, I don't know if they know when to stop. Anyway, Black Phone is the thing. Ethan Hawke, great actor as usual. Coming in first place, Her Eyes. A slasher made that top, right? It's the best slasher there is. I enjoyed it so much. So it's a parody of Scream. It's a parody of slashers in general, but it has so much dark humor, so much cool action. The characters are great. The overall experience is peak. You want to watch one horror flick from this year, go watch Her Eyes. It's my favorite slasher there is. Among all the slasher. If you need to do more slasher, make them like that one. The cast and characters were great. I reviewed that entire movie when it came out in February. Great stuff. With that being said, that's my ranking. I've given a 10 to Her Eyes and Black Phone. And that was the ranking. So, we are moving on to the outro of this amazing stream where I talked about a ranking of movies. Coming next on the channel, we have tomorrow, Smallville Season 5, Smallville Season 6. Full reviews for film and shows adaptation. Next Saturday, we talk about politics once again. Question period. And if we get a special guest, we will talk about immigration as well, because Canada has a rigged system. With that being said, next week, most likely on Wednesday, we will have the season finale for Mainstream Movies Review. We do a full-on tier list of movies. I'm excited about that. I can't wait to share my thoughts on so many movies we covered this season. And I look forward for next year. 2026 looks like a great year for movies. With this, I am out. Have a great